Canada, a nation of hockey, snow, and Tim Hortons. But did you know that Canada is also a country that is at the forefront of international trade? The Canadian economy is one of the largest and most developed ones in the world, which makes it an ideal place for global commerce. As part of the Invest in Canada initiative, this presentation will detail 5 major reasons why companies and individuals alike should look to Canada as their next big investment opportunity. The 5 reasons are a strong workforce, low business taxes, a welcoming business environment, financial stability and growth, and easy market access. With a labor force of nearly 19 million people, Canada has an abundance of workers ready for today's knowledge-based economy. Underpinning Canada's strong workforce is a world-class education system composed of around 100 universities and 130 colleges. Thousands of highly qualified young Canadians graduate from these institutions each year. These schools also attract students and researchers from around the world, adding to the strength of Canada's workforce. More importantly, young Canadians are equipped with skill sets that differentiate them from university graduates in other countries. Students from top-tier universities like the University of Waterloo are driving Canada forward by starting innovative new high-tech ventures. Wouldn't it be great if your business could tap into this incredible human resource by hiring young and eager Canadians? Another factor contributing to Canada's business appeal are low taxes. Canada's overall marginal effective tax rate is by far the lowest in the G7. In fact, it's about 17 percentage points lower than that of the United States. What's more, in the last 6 years, the Harper government has cut federal corporate taxes to 15%, down from 22%. And Canadians are not the only group of people who recognize Canada's great tax policies. Even the international community has named Canada as having one of the world's best taxation systems. Just last year, Canada was ranked 8th in corporate tax stability out of 189 countries, according to a study by PricewaterhouseCoopers and the World Bank. This puts Canada ahead of Mexico, Britain, France, Germany, and even the United States. The Government of Canada is committed to ensuring that Canada continues to be a friendly, low-tax place for business. It has recently launched several tax incentive and tax break programs to further encourage business expansion. For example, the Scientific Research and Experimental Development Tax Incentive is a program designed to support industrial R&D by Canadian businesses of all sizes and in all sectors. The program works by giving businesses cash refunds or tax credits on expenditures like wages, materials, machinery, or equipment. But Canada's business-friendly policies don't just end with taxes. There are many other factors that make Canada a great place for business investment. Among those factors are laws to protect businesses, such as effective protection of intellectual property rights, transparent government procurement practices, and openness to highly skilled immigration. Furthermore, according to both Forbes and Bloomberg, Canada is the absolute best country in the G20 to do business. Maybe just one of the reasons for this is the fact that businesses in Canada enjoy the lowest R&D costs in the G7, making it 10.7% lower than the R&D costs in the US. Along with low business costs, the Canadian government has countless support programs for small and medium-sized companies. By offering subsidies and guidance to new companies, investors can be certain that Canada will continue to be a focal point of innovation for generations to come. Of course, Canada's welcoming business policies are reflected in its strong historical economic performance relative to other countries. In terms of financial performance alone, Canada's banking system is considered to be one of the best and safest in the world. It has been ranked as the world's soundest system for the 6th year in a row, according to the World Economic Forum. Canada also has an AAA credit rating and the lowest net debt GDP ratio in the G7. As for other metrics proving Canada's consistent economic success, consider these statistics. The Canadian economy is the 11th largest in the world and the 10th greatest in GDP per capita. Canada topped the G7 with a GDP growth rate of 1.2% between 2008 and 2012, and this trend is expected to continue with a GDP growth rate of 2.2% for the next 3 years. Canada led all G7 countries in economic growth over the past decade, and Canada's economy was the first among G7 nations to recoup the employment losses recorded during the global recession. Last but not least, Canada also acts as a hub for wider foreign market access. 17 of Canada's 20 largest cities are located within a 90-minute drive of the Canada-US border, so companies operating in Canada can get quick, reliable access to the large US market. And for ships, Canada's Atlantic and Pacific ports offer a 2-day sailing time advantage over other North American ports. In addition, Canada has plenty of active trade agreements with other countries. NAFTA, for example, allows investors access to more than 453 million consumers and a combined GDP of over $18 trillion. Other similar trade agreements exist between Canada and other nations, including European Union trade agreements and a South Korea trade agreement. Negotiations are also underway with 11 Pacific Rim countries, as well as bilaterally with India, Korea, and Japan. So considering all these reasons supporting Canada's reputation as a center for international trade, what are you waiting for?